10,
tisa,
pa, 7, 8,
4,
3,
2, 1.
Ang aming pangarap ay makita ang isang napakalaking pangkat ng mga mature na pinuno at grupo na nakatuon sa paggawa ng mga alagad ni Jesus. Sa bawat bansa, bawat lungsod, komunidad, samahan sa bawat sulok ng mundo. Isang pangkat ng 1,000,000 coach, ng 1,000,000 pamilya, ng 100,000,000 atleta, lahat sa iisang misyon na maapektuhan ang mundo ng sport at paglalaro, ang mundo ng fitness at action sport. At upang maapektuhan ang mundo ng e-sport at all ability hanggang sa masakop ng kaluwalhati ang Diyos ang buong mundo tulad ng pagsakop ng tubig sa dagat.
Habang ating pinupunan ang mga puwang, kailangan nating magkaroon ng malusog na paggalaw ng puso. Ang puso ay may siyam na panuntunan ang naglalarawan ng ginagawa natin, kung saan natin ginagawa at kung paano natin ito ginagawa. Hindi namin maaaring ipasa ang mga panuntunan sa pamamagitan ng mga papel. Ito ay higit pa sa isang theoretical na ehersisyo. Kailangan nating makipagtulungan sa mga pinuno at koponan sa loob ng maraming taon upang pagtugmain ang tibok ng ating puso sa ating mga panuntunan. Itinuloy namin ang pangarap na ito at dinadala ang pusong ito bilang isang pandaigdigang kilusan ng mga pinuno at lingkod ng kaharian na masigasig na nagboluntaryong maglingkod mula sa lokal hanggang sa pandaigdigan. Kami ay lubos na desentralisado, walang opisina o budget, ngunit lubos na nagkakaisa sa aming misyolohikal na balangkas ng Ready Set Go. Kami ay isang pamilya na may 6 na magkakapatid, parang volleyball team, may 6 na manlalaro. Go Sport, Go Play, Go Fitness, Go All Ability, Go Action Sports, at Go Game. Magsama-sama tayo, isang tribo, isang pamilya, isang pangkat, isang katawan sa paglalakbay na ito sa pag-unlad ng pamumuno tungo sa paglaki at pagpaparami ng mga alagad. Pagpaparami ng mga alagad. Ready, set,
Go!
Hello mga kaibigan! Welcome sa Global Arena. Kami ay natutuwa na kayo ay narito, saan man kayo nagmula, upang maging bahagi ng isang bagay na mas malaki kaysa sa sinuman sa atin at hindi magagawa ng mag-isa.
Ako ay si Bira.
At ako si Charis. At kung ikaw ay nanonood mula sa sala, simbahan, gym o paaralan, ikaw ay bahagi ng isang bagay na pandaigdigan.
Para sa ilan sa inyo, ito ang unang pagkakataon niyong marinig ang tungkol sa kilusang pampalakasan. Kaya magsimula tayo sa pagpapakilala sa ating sarili. Kami ay isang komunidad ng mga taong nagmamahal kay Jesus at sa sports, at naniniwala kami na ang dalawang pasyon na ito ay magkasama.
Tama yan. Bawat linggo, mahigit 5 bilyong tao ang kumokonekta sa sports. Naglalaro, nanonood, nakikipagkumpetensya o nagtuturo. At ginagawa nitong isa sa pinakamakapangyarihang puwang para sa impluensya at pagbabago.
Sa pamamagitan ng kilusang Ready Set Go, tinutulungan namin ang mga tao sa buong mundo na gamitin ang sports para gumawa ng mga alagad ni Jesus saan man sila naroroon, at iyon ang puso ng aming ginagawa.
At nangyayari iyon sa pamamagitan ng tinatawag naming 6 na gumod, 6 na natatanging paraan upang maisabuhay ang iyong pananampalataya at manguna sa iyong kapaligiran sa palakasan. Para silang 6 na magkakapatid sa isang pamilya, magkaibang personalidad, iisang misyon.
Mayroong Go Sports na nakatuon sa mga atleta at coach, Go Fitness para maabot ang mga tao sa mga gym at wellness space, Go Play gamit ang mga laro para kumonekta sa mga pamilya at komunidad, Go Action para sa maaksyon at matinding mundo ng palakasan, Go All Ability para sa may mga kapansanan gamit ang inclusive sports, at Go Game para maibahagi ang pag-ibig ni Kristo sa mga online gamers.
Magkakasama, ang mga paraang ito ay nagbibigay sa atin ng kumpletong larawan kung paano magagamit ng Diyos ang sport para maabot ang bawat tao sa bawat konteksto.
At iyon ang dahilan kung bakit tayo narito sa Global Arena para tumuon sa nagpapaunlad sa lahat ng ito. Ang pamumuno. Ngayon, titignan natin ang mga kwento ng mga ordinaryong tao na tinawag na mamuno. Makikita mo kung paano ang mga pinuno ay lumalago, dumadami at nagbabago ang iba.
Sa ating pagpapatuloy, mapapansin mo ang mga pattern. Mga prinsipyo tulad ng pagiging halimbawa, responsibilidad, mentoring at komunidad. Ito ang tinatawag nating mga susi sa pag-unlad ng pamumuno. Hindi lamang teorya, ngunit isinabuhay ng mga tunay na pinuno na makikilala mo ngayon.
Kaya't nasaan ka man, nagsisimula sa iyong paglalakbay, nagpapalaki ng isang koponan o nagtuturo sa susunod na henerasyon, nasa tamang lugar ka. Ang pamumuno ay tungkol sa impluensya at naniniwala kami na ang lahat ay tinatawag upang mamuno sa ilang paraan.
Kaya magsimula tayo sa unang kabanata sa ating seryeng Call to Lead. Isang kwentong nagpapaalala sa atin na ang lahat ay may panawagan na maging impluensya sa pagbabago.
I remember Koji's best mate came up to me a few months after I'd been mentoring Koji and he said, "Marty, would you mentor me? I want to be like Koji." He'd seen Koji growing.
And one of the things that I loved about Pavel is he always dreamed. He always wanted to do something bigger. He always wanted to go into new communities, start new projects.
When I'm interacting with Joki, she's always last. Like, even on the team, she's one of the best players, but she doesn't want to be. She wants someone else to be there. She wants someone else to be seen. And I'm like, this lady is so different.
Sport means a lot to me. I think sport is something God has given people to enjoy and to love, but also it's an amazing tool for growth. Sport reveals so much about who you are in the moments of greatness or in the moments of your biggest defeats.
Okay, Lord, thank you very much for this day, for this morning. Thank you, Jesus, for our family.
My name is Pavel Kripanov. I was born in Uzbekistan. I was born in an amazing Christian home who loved the Lord, who loved Jesus, but also they love sport. One thing I love about sports, it brings people together. It's something that is so hard to explain. Yeah, it's like glue that brings communities, that brings peoples, that brings cultures and passions together.
We love sport, not just because we are very competitive, but because this is one of the greatest opportunities to speak to the heart of the people.
They like to play and they teach them like really good stuff like the Bible.
I think being here is a learning experience where you get to get some experience of winning and losing. It's a great place to learn about your skills, how to get better.
My dream is to be a soccer player.
My favorite part about playing here is the people and the Bible stories.
The thing that's had the most impact on my life, I would say, is actually seeing the kids pick up not just the soccer skills, but also coming back next week and recapping what was or what they learned from the Bible.
We didn't want to just preach the gospel. We wanted them to really discover the Bible for themselves. That they would know how to go into the Bible, read it, and then understand what it's saying and discover it for themselves and what is God speaking to them. I remember really growing up in a context where Christianity was not allowed. At the time, Uzbekistan was the 7th most persecuted country in the world. And so my parents were really helping us grow in this understanding that our Heavenly Father is always there, because we were always at the point where, or risk, where we could lose our parents. I remember my parents and my uncle started a sports camp. My brother and I, we would go to the gates in the front of the camp, and we would hide in these little bushes, and we would be the lookout. So if we saw any police cars or any government cars drive by, we would sprint all the way back to camp. We would tell our parents or anyone who was in leadership and say, hey, somebody's coming. We need to hide all our Bibles. We need to hide all our resources and just make sure that it looks like just a soccer camp. And so in 2006, our family was deported from Uzbekistan. They gave us 48 hours to leave the country. And so we were declared as spiritual terrorists in Uzbekistan. And I remember it was a very long process, but God's hand was always on us. And so in 2007, we finally made our move to Houston, Texas. I didn't know what Houston was at the time. I remember being a young immigrant in Houston. I remember coming to Houston for the first time, and you get this cultural shock. You come from a completely different context, you come from a completely different culture, and now you're living in this new country where you don't know the language, you don't know how people talk, you don't know how people smile. As I was growing up here in Houston, this sense of maybe I don't belong here. Maybe this is not the place where I'm supposed to be. When we got kicked out of our country, I really started wrestling with God. When we already specifically moved to Houston, I knew that we have given so much as a family to serving the Lord, starting new churches, discipling people, really sharing the gospel. And one day, everything was just gone. I was very angry with God. I really began to live in sin. And as we were driving through this community, we saw so much darkness, so much pain. We saw kids playing soccer over broken bottles and needles and drugs. And as we were driving through that, the Lord really spoke to my heart. And He said, you are heading down this path. Do you want to head down this path? Or if you walk with me, you can help these kids who are here in this context, help them come out of that. I remember that following summer, I went to a sports training school, which is called Multiply School in Ukraine and Belarus, where really I recommitted my life back to the Lord when I was 16. The moment that changed my life forever, that I remember, that really showed me my calling for disciple making through sport, was when it was our first day coming to the fields in Alief, which is in Southwest Houston, Texas. We pulled up to the parking lot. We're coming out to the fields. We're unloading our equipment, and there was a boy laying there, kind of just laying on the field, and he asked us, "Who are you guys?" And we told him, "Yeah, we're soccer coaches. I think you saw the flyer. We're gonna do soccer practice here for everybody who wants to play and love soccer." And so then he asked a question that really stood out to me, that really changed my life. He looked at us and he said, "Are you gonna be like everybody else who comes to our refugee and immigrant community, who will take these pictures of us, will take these videos of us, and then we'll never see you again?" And really that hit me to my heart, because a lot of these kids experienced and were hurt by people who would come, use them as props or as different things, and there was no one who would actually look at them and walk with them in their lives. And I think that was a really big turning point in my life, that I don't want to just come and run a great program. I don't want to just come and do a great event for them, and those are great things, but the main purpose is to disciple them and walk with them, and understanding that walking with them is not simple. It's not easy. But walking and equipping them and discipling them is showing up nonstop, even at times when you really don't feel like doing that.
The very first one, we were very thrilled. And the reason why, because we saw like they wanted to move in some kind of places that Jesus wants to be. And that was our huge joy. But another, that was a little bit kind of the scary. The reason why, because that was the one of the unprivileged community and dangerous part of the life in Houston. But we decided that God will lead them in this context in their journey.
But what really kept me going is knowing that the Lord is behind me. And when I need the words to speak, He was going to give me the words to speak. When I needed the strength to keep going, He would give me that strength. When I needed influence, He would give me influence.
I think the most thing that has impacted me is, I'm going to say it goes back to the Bible, right? Jesus called us to be able to serve and to be able to make disciples, right? When we're out here with these kids, we're not just coaching them about soccer, but we're also sharing the gospel, just feeding them the word. And, at the end of the day, it's God who's working in them. So I think that's the most thing that has impacted me, to see these kids come to either know Jesus or rededicated themselves to Jesus.
pivotal point in our ministry. As soon as we really saw the growth in our ministry, that we not just started bringing other people in and equipping them and helping them become leaders, but we were looking at the long picture. We were thinking a lot of our players who are 12, 13, or 14 years old right now, eventually they're going to come to an age that are 18 or 20, that they can be the next generation of leaders. They can be the ones who are giving back to the community. We work with the school district in A-Leaf, which has 41,000 students that attend 46 schools. 70% of students are refugees and immigrants. Almost half of them, 20,000 students, have limited English proficiency, so they speak a different language at home. 83% of students come from economically disadvantaged homes. 84% of students are at risk of dropping out of school. And 40% of students grow up in a fatherless or a single parent household. We want to see Houston be the city of God. We want A-Leaf to be a city of God.
And one of the things that I loved about Pavel is he always dreamed. He always wanted to do something bigger. He always wanted to go into new communities, start new projects.
The Lord has placed a really strong vision for myself, for our team. We work and partner with the school district here, and really our vision for the next 5 years is to be in every school of A-Leaf by 2030.
One of the main things that we're really excited about is the World Cup that is coming here in 2026.
A project I've been working on for the past 4 or 5 years called Nations United.
This is a great opportunity for you to invite people into your home to watch games together, have spiritual conversations together. It's a great opportunity for you to do something in the community.
Nations United is a specific tool that has picked out 5 to 6 most proven models that have worked all around the globe.
Maybe it's Cup of Nations or League of Nations or a festival, but we see World Cup and then Olympic Games in 2028 as great momentum builders to really take the models that are developed in different cities of the US and multiply them everywhere. And our desire is that the local church would see the power of sport in their communities.
Because when we see the brokenness in A-Leaf in Houston, we have to respond to what God has called us to do.
Welcome back sa Global Arena. Ang unang kabanata ng Call to Lead ay napakalakas na paalala kung sino tayo at kung saan tayo tinatawag.
Nakita natin ang puso ng isang gumagawa ng disipulo, isang taong nagsisimula sa lokal, nakikita ang sport hindi lang bilang laro, kundi bilang lugar kung saan ang buhay ay nagbabago dahil kay Jesus.
At hindi lang iyon ang simula. Ito ang buod ng lahat ng ating ginagawa. Ang paggawa ng mga alagad ay hindi yugto ng paglago, ito ang pundasyon natin.
Para tulungan kang umunlad sa tungkuling iyon, naglunsad kami ng 2 bagong serye ng pagsasanay upang suportahan ang iyong paglalakbay at palakasin kung paano mo pamumunuan ang iba sa pananampalataya at banal na kasulatan.
Ang una ay isang serye ng paggawa ng mga disipulo na may 7 sesyon na sumasaklaw sa mga tema tulad ng tunay na kahulugan ng dakilang komisyon, proseso ng paggawa ng mga disipulo, panalangin at Espiritu Santo, pag-uugnay sa iba't ibang uri ng tao, paghahanap ng taong may kapayapaan, pagtulong sa mga disipulo na maging mature, at pagpaparami ng mga gumagawa ng disipulo.
Pagkatapos ay mayroong serye ng pagtuturo ng Biblia, 5 sesyon na tutulong sa iyong tuklasin at maituro ng malinaw ang salita ng Diyos. Matututuhan mo ang paggamit ng paragraph tool, context tool, application tool, at kung paano maghanda at magbigay ng malinaw, may katuturang pahayag sa Biblia.
Maaari mong kunin ang mga session na ito sa readysetgo.training. Interactive sila at gagabay sa iyo sa proseso ng sunod-sunod. At kung personal kang nagsasanay, pumunta sa readysetgo.tools para mag-download ng mga outline ng session at mga slide deck para sa sarili mong setting.
Ang mga mapagkukunang ito ay narito upang makatulong sa iyong misyon, hindi lamang upang mamuno, kundi upang gumawa ng mga disipulo na mamumuno sa iba. Iyon ang tibok ng puso ng kilusang ito.
At habang tayo ay nananatiling tapat sa tungkuling iyon, madalas tayong inaanyayahan ng Diyos na gumawa ng higit pa para itaas ang iba na pamunuan hindi lamang ang mga individual, kundi ang mga pangkat upang maging mga equiper.
Yan ang pokus ng susunod na kabanata sa Call to Lead. Sa pagpapatuloy, titingnan natin kung ano ang hitsura kapag ang isang gumagawa ng disipulo ay lumaki at naging isang equiper, isang tumutulong sa iba na mamuno.
Narito ang ikalawang kabanata, pagpapalaki ng koponan at pag-aayos sa iba.
My name is Joki Zare, married to Marvin Zare. We have 2 kids, and it's been a wonderful journey of growing to know that I'm a child of God. A child of God, that's my first identity, something I had to learn. It's not sports, it's not, impressing people. First identity is as a child of God. Interestingly, today is a day where we're kind of celebrating many years of women in sports, and and it's been a joy to play alongside Lydia in a team of legends. They call them legends, who are just coming together, celebrating how we founded women's football in Kenya. And some of these girls, I was able to also pray with them in my old team, so it's bringing back good memories, nostalgia, but good memories. My husband and I do work in sports ministry. We serve in the community in a place called Juja in Kenya, in a county called Kiambu. And that region is full of lots of young people. It's a bit further out from downtown Nairobi City, but we do get to see a lot of growth in young people. With the sports movement, it's been a long journey of knowing how to be in the different seasons, whether you're in the field, whether you're helping people outside of the field. And also one key lesson I learned was that most of the play is just to connect, but when you're actually finding a person of peace, a leader who is going to now open up the community to you, that's where the true work happens. It doesn't happen on the field, it happens outside, when you're walking home, when you're eating together, when you're condoning with somebody who's lost a loved one, when you're just being there for them in their time of need. I think that's when true discipleship happens.
name is Lydia Aswani and I come from Kenya. Yeah, Lydia is a mother of 3, a wife, and yeah, she'll be turning soon 33 years. Yes, so Lydia was born and raised in western part of Kenya. Yeah, she was a vibrant, very energetic girl growing up with her grandmom.
I remember meeting Lydia once. A good memory I have, I'm sure I met her before this, but the key one I remember was when we had a women's meeting at a church, and she brought some very passionate points about why women in sports, especially football, have steered away from their femininity. And this is a big topic all across the world, of course. But we discussed some of the issues surrounding, mismanagement of girls and how there's a big need for women to understand our issues and talk about them. In that space, I really picked out that she was really passionate and she has a really big heart to see change happen in the women's game.
Jesus has given me an opportunity to actually represent him and bring him where athletes are. So for me, it's like, this is so sweet. Like, we don't have to stop playing to go and search him somewhere else. He's just here. So that is one of the things that I celebrate about disciple making in sports. When you bring discipleship in a space where people want to be willingly, it is like, it is natural. In sports, there is so much, it's a relational space where like, people love one another naturally. People like it's a competition space where there is mutual love and interactions and a community.
And one thing I love about Lydia is her sensitivity to the Spirit when he did call her to walk in his ways, in terms of, she had so many questions. I remember Lydia doesn't shy from asking questions. When you meet Lydia, she's just willing to ask and keep growing. And you can tell that she's not asking for herself or to be seen. She's asking so she can apply it to her life.
I remember when I met Joki some years back, like that is the first ever woman I'll say she can lay her life down for someone else. Yes, I have seen like Joki living a lifeless life for others, giving out and forgetting even herself at some point. And I never even knew her. I never knew her much, but she was always the last when we interacted. She could always put herself last. I found myself in a community that actually doesn't have football pitches or spaces. But in my whole thinking, I was like, football is the only language I'm gonna use to change the face of my community, to reach out to children, to youth. And I'm here in a community that has no space for football. And I'm shattered. And I'm wondering, what next?
I remember she and her friend would just pray about a new way to reach out to the community here, because most of the fields are gone in this community. And God talked to them and gave them jump rope as a way to go. And Lydia had no idea about how to do any of these things, but if you watch her now, she's one of the best jumpers around. And she's so passionate about learning a new skill, using it for the glory of God.
I'm so grateful that God has been with me on this journey, and He has touched some of the leaders that I've been working with and impacted them so much that to this, like at this point, I can leave my program, or not even my program, our program to them, and I can go anywhere, like even 3 months, 6 months, and the program will run faithfully.
She's very good as a leader. She came for the Multiply School in Kenya, and also again there was being a great leader among the other her fellow teammates. And even just listening to some of the things from her, the people that she walks with, how serious they are about God, and how she's instilling that in them. So for me, I'm watching and seeing, wow, that the next generation after her is already doing so much and leading so much, that it's been great to see, and humbling too. Through a lot of prayer and through a lot of just being together, I think that's when we forged this relationship of her. She would be very open with me. If she has something she's asking God about and she has questions about, she'd text me and say, what does this mean? You know, does God speak in this way? And I remember those would really challenge us to, you know, pray together and think about what is God saying. And so for me, that's when it began, is just through that natural, organic friendship that was really open to ask questions, but also being very willing to learn.
One of the things that inspired me also to just be closer to the family is I have never felt so safe in someone's house the way I feel when I'm in Joki's house. Like, I can go anywhere, we cook together, and then the best part is we could play soccer in the house. Yeah, and that became even so natural. And also like the way they love Jesus. So I was also on the journey, like I really want to love Jesus and to know him more. So like they pray, they share Jesus with their heart out, and I'm like, I want to be like them when I grow up. And just seeing them also being a young couple and just doing things in a way, okay, they're not perfect, but doing things that you can tell this is life, like this is real, this is genuine, like stood out for me. And I wanted friends like those ones for most of my life. So yeah, I appreciate them so much. And also like when I share with them some of little success, and they just make it look like it is not little, it is too big. Let's celebrate. Like, makes me want to be with them even more. Yeah.
Welcome back sa global arena. Nasa kalagitnaan na tayo ng call to lead at ang ikalawang kabanata ay isang makabuluhang pagtingin sa tungkulin ng equipper.
Oo, at ito ay isang napakahalagang pagbabago sa ating paglalakbay sa pamumuno. Ang equipper ay hindi lamang isang taong maraming alam, sila ay isang taong intensyonal tungkol sa paglago ng iba.
Ang mga equipper ay ang mga tagapagsanay, guro, organizer, at tumutulong sa mga koponan na mabuhay ng mailayunin at istruktura. Nakikita nila ang potensya sa iba at binibigyan nila ito ng puwang upang lumago.
Hindi sila tumitigil sa paggawa ng mga alagad, yan lagi ang pundasyon. Ngunit habang higit na pinagtitiwalaan ng Diyos, ang equipper ay humahakbang sa susunod na antas, tinutulungan ang iba na mamuno, hindi lang tinutulungan na sumunod.
Iyon ang dahilan kung bakit kami ay gumawa ng isang bagong serye tungkol sa pagbuo ng koponan upang matulungan kang gampanan ito ng may kalinawan at lakas. Kabilang dito ang tatlong sesyon, pagsisimula ng isang team, pagpapalaki ng isang team, at pagiging isang multiply team.
Ang bawat isa ay nagsisilbing patnubay tungkol sa mga tunay na tanong sa pamumuno, tulad ng kung paano lumikha ng magkasanib na pananaw, bumuo ng malusog na kultura, at bumuo ng mga istruktura na tumutulong sa mga tao na umunlad.
At tulad ng iba pang bagong nilalaman na ibinahagi namin ngayon, makikita ang mga session na ito sa Ready, Set, Go Training, isang digital interactive na platform kung saan maaari mong gawin ang bawat session sa sarili mong bilis.
At kung ikaw ay harapang nakikipag-ugnayan, pumunta sa Ready, Set, Go Tools para mag-download ng mga outline at slide ng session. Tamang-tama ito para sa mga team meeting, workshop o training.
At narito ang isang bagay na pinagsasama-sama ang lahat. Mayroon na kaming Live It Out Kit para sa bawat session package. Kasama dyan ang mga inilabas na yon at mula sa mga nakaraang global arenas.
Ang mga kit na ito ay binuo upang tulungan kang gawin ang iyong matutunan. Puno ang mga ito ng mga tools sa application, aktibidad, mga tanong at hakbang sa makakatulong sa iyo at sa iyong team na lumipat mula sa nilalaman patungo sa pagkilos.
Kung ikaw man ay kumikilos sa pamamagitan ng paggawa ng alagad, pagtuturo ng Biblia, pagbuo ng koponan o anumang iba pang lugar ng pamumuno, makakahanap ka ng Live It Out Kit para dito sa Ready, Set, Go Tools.
At kung kailangan mo ng tulong, maaasahan mo kami. Tingnan ang aming channel sa YouTube, Ready, Set, Go World, kung saan makikita mo ang how-to video series.
Ang mga maikling praktikal na video na ito ay gagabay sa iyo kung paano gamitin ang platform, ilapat ang mga tool, at maaari kang bumuo ng iyong sariling resources. Ang mga ito ay tamang-tama para sa mga gumagawa ng disipulo at mga equipper.
Dahil ang layunin ay hindi lamang magkaroon ng maraming kaalaman, ito ay pagtulong sa iba na lumago.
Ngayon, habang nagpapatuloy tayo sa call to lead, humakbang tayo sa susunod na antas ng pamumuno, mentoring. Paglalakad kasama ang mga pinuno sa paglipas ng panahon, tinutulungan silang magparami ng mga koponan at network.
Ito ang mahabang laro, ang tahimik na pamumuhunan na humahantong sa patuloy na pagdalaw.
Narito ang ikatlong kabanata ng Call to Lead, Mentoring at Multiplication.
I remember Koji's best mate came up to me a few months after I'd been mentoring Koji and he said, "Marty, would you mentor me? I want to be like Koji." He'd seen Koji growing and he said, "That's what I want." And so what I want to do is, I actually think mentoring is the best way to disciple someone because it forces them to face the things that are getting in the way of them truly being who God's made them to be. So what I'm trying to do is start this mentoring movement all across Japan. We have a goal of training 500 men as mentors. And it's really for us a way to disciple men, to make disciples who make disciples, to make mentors who make mentors. And we just think, like, there's one guy I'm mentoring who is now mentoring 25 Japanese guys. I mean, that's crazy. But he's just so alive and he's found his own calling. Well, I can't do what he does. He's young, the young guys love him. And so I want to train more people because I just think here's a strategy, particularly of reaching men. Do you know in Japan, only 1 in 2,000 men are in church on a Sunday. where are they? How do we contact them? And I think they're so lonely. I think we've got to mentor these men so they can meet and mentor others. And I think we grow a movement. That's what I want to see.
My name is Koji, and I'm from Japan. I got recently engaged, so there's a fiance. I'm going to get married this year. I am seeking the Lord. I'm a child of God. I think that's who I am. So I started playing tennis at 8 years old. I really loved like how it all works. Then when I started to just like play in the tournament, I think that's the time that I was just slowly just getting more involved. I just want to just win. I want to play more, and like I think those are the time that I was just getting more involved with the sports.
Christian population in Japan is only 1%. Then if it's gonna be missionaries and pastors, it's gonna be obviously less than 1%. It could be like 0.3 or something. I do really think this 1% of Christianity, like this Christians, they need to be equipped, then they need to be mobilized to just reach into 99%. So I just really do think we need to just like really invest on this 1%. We just first, Christians need to be first discipled, then they need to be disciple maker so that they are able to just go and reach into this 99%. In Japan, I'm just really sensing that God's gonna bring this mass revival in coming years, but we need to prepare. One day I just saw this vision, God just saying to Noah, like, build a ship because the flood will come. So, I just really felt like this flood of revival come, but we need to build a ship. Building the ship can be like building the community, building up the people. So I feel like there is this sense of like, we need to prepare, we need to raise up more people to win the people that God is going to bring. So that is my passion, to just really just, train other people and equip other people.
So often people think, mentoring, that's really important. But I don't know if they really know what it is, because you see, to really be mentored, if someone asks me to mentor them, I really take them on. Do you really want to grow? My mentor had said to me, tell me what you don't want to tell me. I hated the question, but I loved it because it meant that I wasn't living in the dark. I didn't have a hidden life anymore. I just was willing to tell him. And I think everyone wants someone who can see them, who sees them as valuable, who can see who they can be. And they need a hand to get out of it. There's this great line that says, we don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. We're stuck in our heads so often. And mentoring just helps people, I think, move from the head to the heart. And it's a universal desire. But I particularly see the need here in Japan.
So what Marty does in the mentoring time is you don't say that, okay, this is my opinion. Even if I would just come in to say, hey Marty, I just have this question. Can I just like get your wisdom? Like, can you just answer this? But you wouldn't answer because what you say is like, Koji, what do you think God's saying to you? What is your spirit saying? So that I don't I don't just depend on you. What you always want to do is to just like help me look at Jesus like, what is God saying? So that is helping me so much to just help me grow towards Jesus. Then there is a healthy relationship too. Yeah.
And it was a really special moment. Koji and I spoke. We do talks at the high school with love and sex and dating. And Koji, because Coach has to translate for me, Koji told me the story of one of these young guys who's 17 years old. He said, I really liked that last talk, and I've made a little group of 2 other guys, and we're accountable every night about how we're going in the battle with the flesh. And I can remember just getting so excited because I showed Koji how we do this, he does that himself, and now he was encouraging the next generation to do that, and so he's just become more and more a model.
So I was always having this small paper in the corner in my room, like, who are you becoming? Then that was the question that I'm asking to myself. With the decision that I'm going to make, it is always shaping me, but I want Jesus to shape who I am.
It's so amazing that Paul says, follow me as I follow Christ.
Yep.
And that's what people are doing now for Koji. And you know, it's so beautiful, mate. You're really humble about it in the sense that you just feel so privileged that these guys, and they just want to be with you. He just loves you, Koji.
Yep.
You know, and you celebrate him.
Yes.
Do say, look at the guys. I only know some of them. I don't know them all, but you're so committed to them. You love them, and they just feel that love. And they're growing so much, and now they're helping others. Oh man, what a great life we live.
Yes. Oh, I want to see them just like living out this abundant life. I just want to see them just like beaming out this life that Jesus has given. So I think there is a hardship, there is struggles, but that's the thing that I think God want me to just really just do for others, to just building up, equipping them to just fight and grow in this and live out this abundant life. How my mentor helped me mentor other people right now is that he really saw me. I felt seen beyond what I can do, not the ability that I have, but he saw the potential in me. Then he believed in me too. So whenever I try to mentor other people, I try to just like see how God is seeing them, then the potential that they are having, they can grow so much. That's how I try to see, and that's something that I've learned from my mentor.
Maligayang pagbabalik. Ang ikatlong kabanata ng Call to Lead ay nagbigay sa atin ng pananaw sa ibang uri ng pamumuno, ang tahimik, matatag at pangmatagalang uri.
Oo, ang tungkulin ng mentor, isang taong kasama ng mga leader hindi lang sa isang panahon, kundi sa mahabang paglalakbay na hindi lang nagpaparami ng mga disipulo, kundi pati rin sa mga koponan at kilusan.
Hindi ito magarbo, hindi ito mabilis, ngunit ito ay malalim na pagbabago. Ang mga mentor ay matyaga, patuloy na namumuhunan sa mga tao, tinutulungan silang manatiling matatag at lumakas.
Para suportahan ang mga gumaganap sa tungkuling iyon, gumawa kami ng The Mentor's Guide, isang resource tulad ng Equipper's Guide na idinisenyo upang tulungan kang gabayan ang iba sa kanilang paglago, pamumuno at pagpaparami.
Magagamit na ito ngayon, konektado sa lahat ng bagong sesyon ng pagsasanay na nakita mo ngayong araw. At tulad ng aming iba pang mga kasangkapan, maaari na itong i-download sa Ready Set Go tools.
At alam namin na ang mentoring ay hindi isang beses na bagay, ito ay isang ritmo. Kaya naman patuloy kaming gumawa ng mga kasangkapan para sa mga mentor, tulad ng Mentoring Lessons Telegram Group.
Ang mga aralin sa Mentoring Lessons Telegram Group ay direktang kinuha mula sa tunay na karanasan ng mga lidereng sport movement sa buong mundo. Kung ikaw ay isang bagong lider o nagtuturo sa isa, ito ay isang lugar kung saan maaari kang makatanggap bawat linggo ng maikling nilalaman ng pagtuturo tungkol sa pamumuno, pagbuo ng koponan at espiritual na paglago.
At marami sa mga parehong pagmumuni-muni ay makukuha rin sa app na YouVersion Bible bilang mga plano sa pagbabasa, maikling devosyonal na nakabatay sa kasulatan. Libu-libong tao na ang nakakumpleto nito at lumalago linggo-linggo sa kanilang pamumuno at pananampalataya.
At ngayon, nais naming ipakilala sa inyo ang isang kwentong malalim na sumasalamin sa diwa ng pagtuturo, isang dokumentaryo na naniniwala kaming dapat panoorin ng bawat leader.
Ito ay tinatawag na Simpleng Eddie, ang kwento ng isang ordinaryong lalaki na ang pangitain na tahimik na magsimula ng isang sports network ay nagpasiklab ng isang kilusan sa pamumuno na patuloy pa rin lumalago hanggang ngayon.
Nag-aatubili si Eddie na magkwento. Ayaw niya ng atensyon, pero napagtanto niya kung gaano kahalaga na maipasa ang mga aral sa pamumuno, pati ang mga natutunan mula sa mga pagkakamali at masasakit na karanasan.
Kaya hindi ito isang kwento ng bayani, kundi ng isang pagpapakumbaba, isang larawan ng kung ano ang hitsura ng baliktad na pamumuno, ang uri na tumuturo kay Jesus, hindi sa ating sarili.
Panorin ito ng may ganoong puso. Humugot ng inspirasyon, tumawa, umiyak at higit sa lahat, maging pinuno na nakatakda para sa iyo. Matatagpuan mo ang dokumentaryo sa aming channel sa YouTube, Ready Set Go World.
At ngayon, lilipat tayo mula sa kwento patungo sa pag-uusap. Ang ilan sa mga batang leader na tampok sa Call to Lead, mga leader na nakaugat sa salita, hinubog ng karanasan at nakatuon sa pagpaparami ng iba ay sasali sa atin ng live.
Makinig tayo sa isang panel discussion tungkol sa ating hinaharap, mga hamon, mga pangarap at sa mga oportunidad na nagbibigay kahulugan sa kinabukasan ng pamumuno.
Sabay tayong pumunta doon.
Ang dami na nating pinagdaanan. Ngayon naman ay makakasama natin ang dalawang leader na ang mga kwento ay nagbibigay ng puso sa The Call to Lead series. Pavel at Koji, nakakagalak na makasama namin kayo dito.
Oo, salamat sa inyong dalawa. Talagang namodelo ninyo kung ano ang hitsura ng pamumuno sa kilusang ito, hindi lamang isang tungkulin kundi ang buong larawan bilang mga gumagawa ng disipulo, tagapagtustos at tagapagturo ng sabay-sabay at patuloy na lumalaki.
Ano ang anyo ng pagbibigay kakayahan sa araw-araw mong buhay? Mayroon bang ritmo o kasangkapan na iyong ginagawa o ginagamit para makapagbigay ng pagbabago?
Isang kamangha-manghang kasangkapan na nakatulong sa amin ay ang paggamit ng Discovery Bible Study Group. Simple ito, ngunit napakalakas ng epekto na naantig nito ang bawat aspeto ng ating buhay at tumutulong na hubugin tayo bilang mga disipulo ni Kristo, mapapananalangin man o pagbibigay ng lakas ng loob sa isa't isa. Iyon ay kamangha-manghang kasangkapan.
Ang nakakatulong sa akin na masangkapan ang ibang tao ay gawin ang pang-araw-araw na ulat kasama ng aking mga mentee na bigyan ng score mula 1 hanggang 10 kung paano namin isinasabuhay ang aming relasyon sa Diyos. Pinapakain ba natin ang ating laman ngayon? O tayo ba ay talagang lumalago sa relasyon sa Diyos? Tapos kapag may nag-rate sa sarili nilang 2 o 3, nakakatulong na malaman natin para magkaroon tayo ng accountability. Pagkatapos ay maaari nating ipagdasal ang isa't isa. Maaari tayong maghikayatan.
Kaya't nakakatulong iyon sa akin ng malaki para maihanda ang iba at magkaroon din ng pananagutan sa isa't isa.
Pinahahalagahan ko ng lubos ang iyong mga tugon at naiintindihan namin na ang pamumuno ay hindi laging madali. Ano ang isang pagkakamali o isang mahirap na sandali na nagbigay daan sa iyo na umunlad at maging mas mahusay sa iyong pamumuno ngayon?
Oo, sa palagay ko, lagi talagang magkakaroon ng mga pagkakamali at madami na rin akong nagawa sa paglipas ng mga panahon. Pero sa palagay ko, ang pinakamalaking pagkakamali na nagawa ko ay ang gawing kapalit ng aking personal na relasyon kay Jesus ang aking ministeryo para sa Panginoon. Madalas kong isipin, kapag mas pinaglilingkuran ko ang Panginoon, mas pinaglilingkuran ko ang iba, mas nagiging mabuti ang relasyon ko kay Kristo. Pero dumating ako sa punto na lubos akong napagod at naubos at nasabi ko sa sarili ko, parang hindi ko na kaya ito. At hindi ko talaga maintindihan bakit. Parang sinasabi ko na, Panginoon, palagi kitang pinaglilingkuran. Pero tuluyang naubos ang laman ng aking baso hanggang napagtanto ko na magkaiba ang paglilingkod sa Panginoon at ang pagkakaroon ng personal na relasyon kay Jesus. Kailangan munang mapuno ang baso mo kung gusto mong makapaglingkod sa iba.
Para sa akin, ang talagang nakatulong para lumago ako bilang leader ay yung pagtanggap ng puna. Sa Japan kasi, malaki ang takot sa tao, kaya hindi sila nagbibigay ng puna. Pero lubos kong pinahahalagahan ang matalik kong kaibigan dahil talagang nagsasabi siya ng totoo at may pagmamahal. Isa sa pinakamalaking puna na natanggap ko mula sa kanya ay, tulad ng sinabi niya sa akin, Koji, napakayabang mo. Napakahirap para sa akin na tanggapin iyon. Gusto ko lang mangolekta ng datos. Saan, kailan mo naramdaman iyon? Ngunit nakatulong iyon upang marinig ko ang tinig ng Panginoon kung totoo nga ba ito tungkol sa akin o hindi. At sa proseso na iyon, natulungan akong lumago at magnilay kung kumusta na nga ba ako. Ang pagtanggap ng puna ay minsan dumarating ng hindi inaasahan, pero dapat itong tanggapin at ialay sa Diyos para sa lain. Kaya, tunay na nakatutulong ang pagtanggap ng puna.
Gusto ko ang tugon na iyon. At habang iniisip natin ang mga pinuno, mangarap tayo sandali. Anong uri ng mga pinuno ang kailangan ng kilusang ito 5 hanggang 10 taon?
Oo. Sa tingin ko, kailangan natin ng mga lider na matatapang na may malinaw na pangitain. Ngunit kailangan din natin ng mga lider na praktikal at kayang dalhin ang mga pangitaing iyon pababa sa lupa at gawing realidad. Sa tingin ko, maraming beses na nakakatuwang mangarap ng malaki at tumingin sa hinaharap, ngunit pagkatapos ay dalhin ito ng mas praktikal at kung paano ka talaga makakarating doon ay isang hamon. Hanggat maaalala ko, ang aming koponan ay may mga kamangha-manghang pangitain at malalaking pangarap pero ang mga ginagawa namin sa araw-araw ay tila malayo sa aming pangitain. Pakiramdam namin ay hindi kami lumalapit sa aming pangitain. Kaya sa palagay ko, napakahalaga na mayroon tayong mga lider na kayang mangarap ng malaki para sa hinaharap at mga lider na kayang dalhin iyon sa realidad at tunay na makaunawa kung paano natin mararating iyon hakbang sa bawat hakbang.
Gusto kong makita ang mga lider na nagtutulungan sa loob ng 5 taon o 10 taon. Sila ang mga taong handang ipaglaban ang kaharian at sama-samang naghahanap ng kaharian kaysa ang basta lamang matakot sa Panginoon. Ang mga kasanayan, iba't ibang uri ng sports ministry skills at mga bagay na gaya nito ay maaaring sumunod na lamang. Ngunit ang pusong sama-samang naghahanap sa Panginoon at may takot sa hari, iyon ang nais kong mas makita sa mga leader.
Ito ang aming huling tanong. Kung may nanonood ngayon at hindi sila lubos na sigurado sa kanilang pamumuno, ano ang sasabihin mo sa kanila para lubos na hikayatin sila?
Ang aking paghihikayat ay huwag maghintay hanggang handa ka na. Simulan mo lang kung nasaan ka. Iyan ang kahangahangang bagay sa pamumuno, hindi ito isang titulo. Hindi mo kailangang dumaan sa proseso ng pagkuha. Ang pamumuno ay paglilingkod sa mga nasa paligid mo tulad ng ginawa ni Jesus. Naaalala ko noong nagsisimula kami sa aming ministeryo at nagmamaneho kami sa kapitbahayan at komunidad, nakakita kami maraming imigrante at refugee, mga batang naglalaro ng saker sa mga basag na bote ng beer, droga, karayom at napakaraming bagay. At nakita namin ang sobrang sakit at kadiliman. At nang makita iyon ng aking mga magulang, tinanong nila kami ng isang simpleng tanong, ano ang gagawin ninyo tungkol dito?
Kamangha-mangha ang makita kung ano ang ginawa ng Diyos mula sa isang simpleng hakbang ng pagsisimula ng soccer practice at ngayon ay mahigit 10 taon na sa ministeryo, patuloy naming nasasaksihan ang kanyang katapatan sa buong prosesong ito. At isa sa mga paborito kong karakter sa Biblia ay si Moses. Hindi handa si Moses para sa pagtawag. Hindi niya gustong gawin ito. Pakiramdam niya hindi siya kwalipikado. Ang gusto ko sa kwentong ito, walang oras na sinabi ng Panginoon kay Moises, "Wow, ang galing mo, Moises. Huwag kang mag-alala, magiging dakila ka. Napakagaling mang magsalita." Ang sinabi lang ng Panginoon ay, "Umasa ka sa akin. Ako ang magsasalita para sa iyo." Ang gusto ko sa paglalakbay na ito ay hindi tinatawag ng Diyos ang mga kwalipikado. Ginagawa niyang karapat-dapat ang mga nagsasabi ng oo sa Kanya.
Nais ko kayo hikayatin na pakinggan ang Panginoon kung ano ang sinasabi ng Ama ng ating Papa sa inyo ngayon. Pakiramdam ko imbes na sabihin ko lang ang isang bagay ngayon, naramdaman kong ito ang pinakamagandang marinig mula sa Papa natin ng direkta. Ang nakaraang taon ay napakahirap para sa akin. Kailangan ko noon ng paghihikayat at talagang naramdaman ko na sinabi ng Diyos sa akin, "Koji, hawak kita. Magiging maayos ang lahat." Kaya kinailangan kong kumapit sa mga salitang iyon, kailangan kong panghawakan ang mga iyon. At nakatulong iyon sa akin na magpatuloy. Kaya talagang nais kitang hikayatin saan ka man naroroon ngayon na pakinggan ang Panginoon dahil ang Papa natin ay may pinakamabuting plano para sa iyo. Oh!
Wow, napakagandang input. Salamat, Koji. Salamat, Pavel. Nakahamon at nakapagpalakas ng loob ang inyong mga kwento at katapatan sa amin.
Sa lahat ng nanonood, tandaan, ang pamumuno ay hindi nangangailangan ng pagiging perpekto.
Kaya patuloy tayong gumawa ng mga alagad. Patuloy nating ihanda ang iba. Patuloy tayong magturo ng may pananampalataya.
Dahil sa ganito tayo dumarami at hinuhubog ang kinabukasan ng pamumuno.
Sa pamamagitan ng paglakad ng malapit kay Jesus at pagtulong sa iba na gawin din ito.
Ganda ng paglalakbay na ito. Mula sa makapangyarihang mga kwento hanggang sa praktikal na mga mapagkukunan, pinaaalala sa atin ng global arena na ang pamumuno ay hindi lang basta tinataha, kundi isinasabuhay natin araw-araw.
Kung nagustuhan mo ang huling pag-uusap sa aming panel, marami pa kaming inihanda at sabik kaming anyayahan ka sa Ready Set Ko podcast na ngayon ay makikita na sa aming YouTube channel.
Sa mga yugtong ito, maririnig mo ang mga pinuno mula sa buong mundo na nagtalakay ng mga paksang mahalaga tulad ng mga disiplinang espiritual, pangkalahatang kalusugan at kung paano maging epektibong tagapamagitan. Ito ay mga malalalim, totoo at napaka-praktikal na pag-uusap.
Ipinakilala rin namin sa inyo ang mga bagong sesyon ng pagsasanay sa paggawa ng disipulo, ang angasiwa ng Biblia at pagbuo ng koponan, kasama ang bagong Mentor's Guide, Live It Out Kit at How to Video Series.
At nakita natin kung ano ang hitsura ng pamumuno kapag isinasabuhay natin ito bilang mga gumagawa ng alagad, tagapagbigay kakayahan at tagapayo, nakaugat sa salita at hinubog ng karanasan at nakatuon sa pagpaparami ng iba.
Pero hindi pa tayo tapos. Naghanda kami ng 6 na espesyal na spin-off na video. Bawat isa ay nakatuon sa isa sa mga Go Made, Go Sports, Go Fitness, Go Action, Go Play, Go All Ability at Go Game.
Ang bawat video ay humigit kumulang na 8 minuto ang haba, maikli, nakatuon at puno ng inspirasyon. Maaari mong panoorin ang pinakaangkop sa iyong konteksto o galugarin ang higit sa isa bilang grupo. Huwag kalimutan, maaari mong kunin ang lahat ng kursong ito ng libre sa Ready Set Go training. Ito ay isang buong aklatan ng pamumuno na nasa iyong mga kamay lamang. Ang kailangan mo lang gawin ay magrehistro at magsimulang matuto ngayon.
Kung gusto mong ulitin o ibahagi sa koponan mo ang kahit anong parte ng kaganapan na ito, ang buong karanasan ay mapapanood sa YouTube channel namin at sa globalarena.world.
Mula sa aming lahat dito sa Global Arena, salamat. Salamat sa iyong katapatan, sa iyong pamumuno at sa iyong puso na magparami.
Patuloy tayong magsama-sama para kay Jesus, para sa mundo ng esport, para sa pagbabago.
Binabago ang sports, Sanman.